Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This is Celebrity Predictions Tarot, and in this reading I will be doing the 1 year anniversary. Actually, it's 1 year and 1 month, so it's definitely 11/11 for the Uvalde mass shooting at the elementary school. It happened on May 24th, 2002, over a year ago, and someone requested me to do this reading for the 1 year anniversary, and here I am doing this reading. I have the Nine of Swords here, and we're going to talk about the shooter, the gunman. I will also be pulling Oracle deck here for more information, but the focus is the Nine of Swords for the gunman. Now, the last time I Googled, I believed he was last speaking to a girl. I don't know if she was overseas. I don't know if she was in a different state, but she definitely was not in where he was from. Okay. And you see here we have two women here. So we have the self-love and we have the travel card here. So she definitely was from another place, another country. And I believe he told her that he was going to unalive his grandmother. I don't know if he was successful, but he did hurt her. And then he sent her another text, and he said that he was going to now hit up an elementary school. Okay? Let me shuffle here. The families of the victim, they're definitely still going through some type of healing. Or they're still going through a healing process, but they still need they still need strength and encouragement from people like you and me, okay? They may also feel that, this situation is very impossible to heal from. There's definitely a feeling of a lot of pain still yet. Now, I feel like the shooter, he had a lot of failures in his life, or something in his life has failed him. This could be him feeling this way, or there could be something in his life that was a very disappointment. It was a failure. If he didn't feel like that about himself, then it is a male figure in his life. And I don't know if he has a father. I know he has a mother, but the father, a male energy, is coming up really, really strongly here. So it could be his father, I think the shooter definitely overreacted with whatever him and the girl was talking about. He took it seriously. And he overreacted. And so, he hurt his grandmother. And he figured that he would keep going. Okay? So he already made one mistake. So he figured that he was just going to keep going and go on this rampage after hurting his grandmother. I don't know if the shooter's father, like I said, was in his life or not, because I didn't Google that far into the situation, because I would like the cards to show me instead of me Googling. But a father figure here comes up very strong in triggering his bad behavior. Now, this this individual, this shooter, very unhappy person. He was also a person who was definitely alone, you know. He chose to be alone. He purposely liked to go into solitude, and everything around him was very unhealthy. Unhealthy lifestyle, unhealthy ways of thinking about finances, unhealthy home life. Now, I know he lived with his grandmother, but I don't know the relationship that they had together. I don't know if the house was a stable place, but I'm just being shown here that there's a lot of instability when it came to his place of living. Even when he would accomplish something in his life, you know, he comes across as ungrateful or still unhappy. And I know he didn't have friends. And as far as his love life, I don't know what his love life was, you know, but I do know that he just didn't care about his future or anybody's future. Now, after he hurt his grandmother, he just decided to keep going on a rampage. And, you know, I feel like he already did a mistake. So why not just go out with a big bang? And even though when I feel like he did socialize with people, he would start drama, or there was always drama that would follow. And drama surrounded him. He comes across as like an energy vampire or a blood-sucking vampire, he would go around people and he would just steal the show, start drama, okay? And like I said, it's like he was sucking the life and blood out of everyone around him in his personal life, and that just wasn't enough for him. You know, he wanted more. He did have mental issues, and he knew he had mental issues. Even people around him knew that he had mental issues, but causing drama was not enough for him, and he needed to take things further. Like trying to steal the show, trying to gain the spotlight here, needing attention, wanting attention. And after he unalived the students, he knew he was not going to get away with it, you know. So his intentions was purely for sadistic enjoyment. This is something weird here. It's like he finds beauty in torturing living things such as animals and humans. And I know he has a history with harming animals, because people did speak out in interviews. He knew that he needed help, you know. Maybe he tried to get help in his past, but it was like an unbalancing situation. You know, his urge for violence was stronger. So it was like, you know, the bad outweighing the good in his thoughts and in his mind. And those thoughts could not be restrained, even though, you know, he tried. And then having or not having a good father, a good leadership in his life kind of made it worse, you know. I feel like his dad could have been, his father could have been abusive. His father could have been an alcoholic, a drug abuser, or somebody who was always, you know, moody all the time. And that may have done things questionable in general, that, you know, made the home not feel like a home. Now, if he didn't have a father in his life, then he was the one who was doing, you know, questionable things that could get him into trouble. And birthdays come up here. Birthdays come up. I feel like birthdays for him was very lonely. Nobody there for him, even on his birthday. And that's another thing that could have been triggering him. And I say that because he was born on May 14th. And he did what he did in the elementary school on May the 24th. So again, feeling alone on his birthday can, made him feel not wanted. And, it's sad that, there are people out there that's alive that feels just like him, and who would do what he did. So who could end up hurting people, History always repeats itself. And, this is not the first time we will see a school massacre, and this is definitely not the last time. Now, let's talk about the law enforcement, the Uvalde Police Department. Here we have the Queen of Swords. Now, if you look closely at this card here, this is a card of a boss. A card of a boss, She has her sword in her hand and she's ready to take action, but she's not. She's sitting down and she has her hand on her face. It's like needing to take action, but not really, in a sense. And that's what this card came up to represent, the Uvalde Police Department. So I do know by seeing videos on YouTube that they arrived pretty quickly, between 2 minutes, 5 minutes, and under 10 minutes that, that they did arrive. But this person doesn't have a plan, She's sitting down, thinking of a plan. Even though she has a sword in her hand, she knows that she has to protect and serve. But she's sitting down and she's thinking about a plan. So that tells me they did not have a plan, and possibly just maybe they were not prepared for something like this. Nobody is prepared for something like this, because not every day these things happen. So they were maybe thinking about a plan here, and if they were, it took a long time. Okay, it took a long time, and it feels like maybe they didn't have no teamwork. Again, it was a spur of the moment thing that they had to think fast and act fast. Here we have judge and courtroom. So I don't know if the families of the victim is going to take action for some reason on the police department. But anyways, it feels like that there was no teamwork. They were trying to build some kind of plan and teamwork. And for the most part, I feel like they were relying on their instincts a lot. They were just, if their instincts told them to wait, then that's what they would have done, was wait. If their instincts told them to go in there and take the shooter down, then they would have done that. But maybe their instincts told them to hold off. There's not a lot of bravery that's coming out in this card here. This person is definitely sitting down, so it's not enough bravery to stand up and want to swing this sword here to serve and protect. So whoever was in charge in giving orders, they took a long time to come up with a plan. And I think the person who was in charge, they might have had the right idea, but it was not fast acting enough. They definitely could have saved and revived some of those those victims, but I feel like they waited too long. Now, I'm not saying that they were not doing their job. I'm saying they maybe let their emotions probably get the best of them. And when I say emotions, some of the police officers definitely were thinking about their own selves and their own children. Okay? And, you know, they needed to put the victims on the back burner because they needed to find out where their kids is at. And that's what I feel. I may be wrong, but that is definitely what I am feeling. Also, I feel like they were not physically trained. You know, either they were not physically trained or mentally trained for something like this. So police officials, you know, you should have called the Marines if you needed help, because I know that the Marines are equipped mentally and physically for, you know, taking out the shooter, you know. But whatever happened to serving and protecting and putting your life on the line for the people? You know, the police that were there, you know, they felt like they did their job equally. They felt like they protected and helped everybody that they could equally, you know. But maybe some of them, maybe they did not do their job or they did not do their best. But what I'm seeing here is, you know, definitely some did not do their best at serving and protecting. Some police officers, you know, they were definitely affected by this. They were definitely affected by this. You see? We have the substance abuse card here. And then we have the relief card here. So they were affected just as much as everybody was. And after all that happened, they also needed to recoup their energy and to regain their strength. You know, this was something stressful, a demanding situation for everybody, and also very, very overwhelming. And, you know, the cards are telling me, you know, that some officers, you know, they did see some of the kids take their last breath. And just seeing that alone, you know, they too, they needed comforting too, you know. So, you know, please do not bash all of the police officers. You know, some of them really did put their lives on the line here. Okay. Now let's talk about the families of the victim. Here we have the Fool card here that came out. So this is definitely a spiritual message for the victim's family. This message here is telling you it's time to rest. You know, I can imagine that there was a lot of sleepless nights, and you probably are going through sleepless nights even right now, you know. But maybe the Fool card here is just time to let go and rejuvenate your mind, your body, and your soul, and to remember only the good memories, and to keep your head up. Keep your head up. You know, put the past away and take a leap of faith, because that's what the Fool card is all about. It's about taking the leap of faith and starting fresh and starting new. This is a card about beginnings and new beginnings of a spiritual quest. You now have the ability to possibly make miracles happen. Why? For other families, you know, they might experience in the future what you went through, and you can be a miracle to them. Maybe innovate new methods and ideas to keep people safe and to keep this from happening again. You are very blessed with willpower and ambition. This card tells you to continue to stay focused and to drive forward and be a leader for the future, so that you can help others that has been in your situation before. This card is saying to hang in there and don't give up, you know, even though the pain was very potent. But now that the situation has been a year ago, this situation bonded you closer and, you know, tighter to people, to family, and to even friends. And so definitely you do want to be a miracle to someone in the future that will happen to them. Because like I said before, you know, school shootings is not the end of that. You know, it happened once, it'll happen again, and it'll continue to happen. And when that happens, some of you, I see you guys starting charities. Some of you guys are starting groups for change and things like that. You know, and some of you might even think about suing the police department. You know, if you do, you know, it's probably going to be a really long, rough journey. But I do see some of you opening charities, starting groups that, you know, protect and can change these type of situations. Okay, so this is my reading, and I hope you guys stay safe out there. Good luck to you guys, and God bless.